Hello YouTubers. I thought it was about time to do another mobile phone video capture review. In this one I shall be talking about 4 that are on the market today and 1 that has been mentioned on the internet, but I'm not sure if it's actually on the market at the moment. All of the information that I have got from the internet, from GSMarena.com, newmobile.com and YouTube. Now what I've done is I've gone through pretty much all of the latest mobile phones that have been put onto the market over the last 6 months. I've had a look at their video capture and specifications, and I've chosen 4 that are on the market today. What I tried to do is pick one from each company, like LG, Nokia, Samsung, etc. So let's get started. First of all, we have the Nokia N86 8 megapixel. Its resolution is 640 by 480, which is VGA. It has 8 gig of memory on board and can take up to 16 gig externally. It's a slide phone. It has an 8 megapixel camera. It records in 30 frames per second in MP4 file format. It has a stand, panoramic shot, 28mm lens and autofocus. And I think it also has image stabilization. I was quite impressed with the video. I thought it was very clear, the low light shots were very good, you could use the flash with the video and that seemed to make a hell of a lot of difference, like the N79. The only thing that I did notice was it had the sort of wobble to it that the N95 and the N79 have. I don't know whether it's got image stabilization, and I don't know what kind of effect that would have on it, but from what I could see in the videos, you know, sometimes it tends to have a little bit of a wobble to it. You know, it didn't put me off. I still thought that the video capture was very clear and very good. The zoom I was very impressed with. It kept its detail when it zoomed right in. There was no noise or distortion, and it's probably the best zoom that I've seen from a mobile phone so far. I was quite impressed with it generally, and I think that I would seriously consider it as my next upgrade, and that's the Nokia N86. Next up on the list is the Sony Ericsson Satio. The resolution is 640 by 480 VGA. It has 128 megabytes on board and it can take up to 32 gig externally. It's a touchscreen phone. It has a 12 megapixel camera. It records at 30 frames per second in MP4 file format, and it has autofocus and, you know, all the sort of camera-y face detection, all that sort of stuff. Now I must admit I haven't really been following Sony Ericsson recently, because when I looked at it last time, which was about 2 or 3 years ago, their video capture wasn't that good. I know that there have been a few phones which they've improved their video capture on. When I looked at the Sony Satio, I was really impressed. For them, I think they've upped their game, but I think they've done it a bit too late. This only had VGA setting on it. It was quite good. The quality was good. It was clear and crisp and nice. The low light was quite good. The only thing that I noticed on it though was that it was a little bit jerky. Whether that's YouTube or not, I don't know, but the quality of the picture was quite good. For Sony Ericsson to have this kind of video is excellent for them, but compared to other phones that are on the market today, it's still not top quality. I still think that they're a little bit behind, to be honest, and that's the Sony Ericsson Satio. Next up on the list is the LG Viewty Smart. It has 720 by 480 resolution, 1.5 gig of internal memory and 32 gig externally. It's a touchscreen phone. It has an 8 megapixel camera on it. It records in 30 frames per second. Now it says that it's encoded in MP4, but it's actually recorded in 3GP, which doesn't make any sense to me, but I'll come back to that in a minute. It has the normal slow motion, time lapse, all that sort of stuff, autofocus, image stabilization. Now, I am a big LG fan. I've got the LG Viewty and the LG Secret, and I've always been impressed with their video capture. I would say up till this point that they were the leaders in the video capture market. Because they recorded in AVI up to the Renoir, the video quality, the zoom quality, everything was absolutely excellent. Then they changed to, I think it was either MP4 or 3GP. Since they've done that, their quality of video has just gone down the toilet. The pictures that they can take, the stills LG Viewty Smart can take, are pretty good, and the options you get on it are very good. And I would say that actually the Satio did better than the LG Viewty Smart, which is a bit disappointing because LG has always been my favourite for quite a long time, and with the LG Viewty Smart it disappointed me a bit. Now I did look to see if there was any newer phones that LG were doing, and I couldn't find any. So whether there's a new model coming out soon which is going to do better video than the LG Viewty Smart, I don't know, but I was quite disappointed with it. And that's the LG Viewty Smart. Lastly on the main list is the Samsung S8300 Ultra Touch. It does 720 by 480 resolution, 80 megabytes on board and 16 gig externally. It's a touch stroke slide. It has an 8 megapixel camera on it. It records in 30 frames per second in MP4 file format. It's got time lapse, slow motion, autofocus, image stabilization. The zoom was pretty good on this, and the quality in low light and normal light was quite good as well. It was quite clear, the pictures were quite nice. The only thing, now whether it was because of the environment it was in, I don't know, but there was a couple of clips that I saw where the sound was really rubbish. I think there was one where there was a concert going on, and I know that concerts are quite loud. On other phones that I've seen, the sound has been a lot better, but on this it was very distorted and very bassy, and it wasn't that good, to be honest. As far as the overall video was concerned, it was okay. It did better than the LG Viewty Smart, but it was sort of on par with the Satio, to be honest. I think generally the Samsung does quite well. That's the Samsung S8300 Ultra Touch. Now the last one, I found it on the internet. I thought it looked really good. The features on it was absolutely excellent, but I couldn't find anywhere that actually sells it. So whether it's actually on the market or they've pulled it off or what, I don't know. There were video clips that I found for it, and what I'll do is I'll just quickly go through the spec and sort of tell you what I've found. It is the Samsung W880. It's got 1280 by 720 HD capability. It's got 4 gig internally and it can take up to 32 gig externally. It's a touch phone. It's got a 12 megapixel camera on it. It records at 30 frames per second in MP4 file format. It's got autofocus. Basically, it's the same as what you would have in a digital camera, and it's got 3 times optical zoom, which I was really impressed with. I mean, I was able to find some video clips. I don't think I found one with a zoom on it though, but the quality of the picture was quite good, and for HD, for a mobile phone, it did quite well, and I actually thought that it was better than any of the others that I'd seen, but like I say, I couldn't find it anywhere on the internet. Now I know that there are new phones coming out. I know that there's probably some that I've missed and haven't talked about, but these 5 phones are the ones that I found and that I was most interested in. I think out of the 5, if the Samsung W880 was available, then it would be a close competition between that and the N86. I think for my money, as far as video capture is concerned, out of these 5 phones, the Nokia N86, because it's available, is probably the best. The zoom is the best, the picture quality is the best, and the low light picture quality is the best. If you're thinking about getting any of these 5 phones, I would say go for the Nokia N86 because it does do the best out of the lot. So there you go, that's my little review. I hope it's helped, and if you have any questions, I shall try and answer them best I can. Okay, that's enough from me. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.